Everything really prepared me for the COVID-19 pandemic. In the last 2 years, before the pandemic, my focus was on emerging unknown infections. Throughout the years of my experience dealing with infectious diseases, I saw how much challenging it is when you deal with a new disease that is not there and coming. And I saw the gaps that we could really improve in our system that can make us more prepared. So my focus was on how we can build a strategic plan and how we can strengthen our response to disease X. And I think this was really important because it helped us in UAE and in Abu Dhabi on preparing and being more prepared for dealing with COVID-19. I was traveling outside UAE when the first case emerged in China. However, when the disease started to spread within Wuhan, I got this bad feeling. Something is happening. So fortunately it was towards the end of my vacation, so I came back to Abu Dhabi and then things started. I was selected to be the official spokesperson for the health sector in UAE during COVID-19 pandemic. For me it was a huge responsibility, but really what drove me to accept is the feeling that I need to calm people and tell them the reality, because I could see the big gap from the exaggeration in the social media versus the reality, the cases that we saw in the beginning of the pandemic, which was very mild. So this really drove me to accept this and consider this as a new challenge, a new path in my career. During the COVID-19 pandemic, there are many lessons that we learned. I think the biggest one was while you are preparing to deal with any new emerging infection, it's very important to set the research and the scientific community to support your response. And I led the research team in UAE and in Abu Dhabi now, continuously trying to align between the research priorities, what we need in terms of scientific knowledge that can support and enhance our response. Many other lessons, but this is the most important one, and we really succeeded to align between the research priorities and the emergency response, and many papers and many publications has been published that could share the experience of UAE on dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, and will stay for ages for our next generation to learn from. I believe in what I do. I believe that public health can improve people's life. Whether it is related to infectious diseases, whether it is related to nutrition, healthy diet, healthy lifestyle. So every moment that we spend in our work makes a difference for people's life. And that's why it really deserves the effort. The support system that I had throughout my life, starting with my parents, going to the support that I felt the government had for women, providing me opportunities to complete my studies post-graduation, and also the support that I got from my husband and my family during the pandemic really was a crucial element of my success. Not easy for me to continue my studies while I have children, doing part-time study, full job and full mother. However, what drive me to do that is I wanted to be a role model for my kids, that nothing could stop you from reaching what you want to reach. And I hope that this is really the lesson that they got out of my whole life, and I am there to support them. It's really hard to have the full time for them as a mother, but I always try to keep this connection and try to show them why I'm supporting our community, our people. It's really a blessing that what we have in UAE. Even in the work, you could see the support that you get for a woman for its uniqueness. So really we feel it, and this helped us to contribute more to the community, to contribute more to our work, and also to continue the dedication for our family. It's a very hard balance, but it's very important to keep this balance and not to override the work over the family or others. What keeps me going is the balance between my personal needs, especially the meditation, having extra hobbies that I practice every day, and I know how to deal with the stresses that I could have in my life, whether it is related to work or family or others. So I always have a moment that I enjoy with kids. I like to meditate in the nature. The connection with the earth, nature, and growth of plants really give me more energy and more positivity that keeps my day going. Her Highness Sheikha Fatima bint Mbarak is definitely my role model that I always learn from, and I get the inspiration. But also I met other women in my life, my mother, my grandmother, and my aunties. I could see how much strong they were throughout their life, and how much dedicated they are for their children. So I believe that the strength in women really is not a new thing. It was inherited since generations. I started to think about medicine in secondary school. There was a moment we were in a funeral, and one of my relatives, she fainted. At that time, I was shocked, and the people around her did not know what to do. So I could see how much difficult was this and stressful. So I thought, why I don't join medicine and try to help people and support them to stay alive. The proudest moment I had in COVID pandemic was seeing how much UAE ranked globally. So the ranking was not done locally, but other countries could see how much UAE is advanced. I could never be proud more than that. Really, I think there has been many unique factors in UAE that helped us. The unified spirit, the words, the inspirational words from His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed when he said, we will deal with this challenge with positivity and we will consider it as an opportunity. I could really see the results of this vision, and I could never be proud than that. Actually, I know that a lot of people hate masks, and and they are waiting desperately for the moment that we will remove masks, and I hope that this moment comes soon. Masks are very important. We don't need to wear them maybe in the future all the time, but we need to realize certain risks that are around us, especially in mass gatherings, in huge gatherings that the viruses and bacteria usually can be transmitted easily between people. So I wish that we can reach a moment where masks will not be necessary always, but it's also important for people to realize that we will not remove them completely. This culture is very important to protect yourself and others from respiratory infections that are always have been there before even COVID-19 pandemic.